Hi guys, my name is Mike and I'm a student at Wayne State University where I'm currently studying comic books and discourse communities. One of the assignments that I had to do for this class was make a video blog regarding a particular comic book that I chose, and that is Moon Knight. So I just wanted to give a quick analysis of the different issues in hand found in this comic book. Now, before I get into the analysis, I just wanted to introduce to you guys Moon Knight, or Mark Spector. To those of you who don't know, he was born in Chicago, Illinois. He served 2 tours with the Marines and worked for the CIA as well. His main job was a mercenary, however, and while working in Egypt under a guy named Bushman, he died and was brought back to life by Khonshu, the Moon Knight god, who agreed to bring him back as long as Mark Spector agreed to be the god's avatar on Earth and fight crime by night. And so Moon Knight was born. Now, this particular volume, Volume 1 from the Dead, contains 6 different issues. I wanted to focus in on 2 of these issues, which is 1 and 5, and just go deeper into analysis on what Warrenhouse meant by the different drawings and the discussions that it's found in here. Now, the first thing that I wanted to point out as soon as I started reading the book is the artwork, and the person we can thank for that is Declan Shelby. It is amazing. It features very vibrant colors and lots of fighting and fighting scenes. Moon Knight is drawn as white. He appears two-dimensional almost, and the secret to this is that everything around him is drawn, so it's colored in, but Moon Knight, or Mark Spector himself, is left white, as blank, so he appears almost two-dimensional as opposed to the other characters, which give more of a three-dimensional look, which makes him pop towards you. One of the issues in hand that were brought up in the past comic books as well is that he had DID, or dissociative identity disorder. What Warren Ellis did in this particular volume is take that away, and instead gave him brain damage. So it's explained in this book that when Khonshu brought him back to life, it caused brain damage, and basically what this does is it makes Moon Knight cycle through 4 different aspects of Khonshu, in day-to-day regular life, which makes him seem like he has some mental issues. So that's the difference between this issue or volume and the past ones. Volume 1 features a villain named the Slasher. Now, what's interesting about the Slasher is that he, like Moon Knight, he puts different parts of different people into himself to aid him in whatever he needs to do. Now, what the Slasher does is he takes strong men and other bodybuilders with very strong, different parts that don't really use him properly, as he says, and puts him on himself in hopes that SHIELD, the organization that left him, would take him back. Moon Knight confronts him and fights him, and he's going through all this level, and we see the different conversations that him and the Slasher have. And what I noticed is, in the same way that the Slasher tries to put himself together with other people's parts, Moon Knight puts himself together mentally where he's broken, using other people's characters. So, for example, in different volumes, and it even shows it in issue 1, where there's a flashback to him talking to a psychiatrist, and we see the face of Spider-Man, Captain America, and Wolverine. He used those personalities to defeat different villains. So in the same way, the Slasher puts himself together from different people in order to achieve different goals. The second issue that I wanted to introduce you guys to, or analyze further for you guys, is volume or issue 5. And in here we see Moon Knight fighting through different levels of villains, and then he gets gets to two main bosses that he defeats. Now, what's interesting about these bosses is that they're drawn in pink. The first boss is drawn in pink, and the second is drawn in purple. Now, what can this mean? Well, I think it has to do with the way Moon Knight is viewed as a very manly character, when deep inside he fights with his more feminine side. So I think this is the reason why Warren Ellis drew it like this. So as he's going through the levels fighting different villains, he gets to the main bosses and then he finishes them off, and then when he gets to the top level he finds a little girl. Now I think this represents the girly side of him, or his feminine side, and his struggle to defeat that and really not get in touch with the feminine side. Another thing that I wanted to point out regarding the way each panels are drawn are in issue 2, where he's fighting a particular sniper, and what Warren Ellis does is in order to create anticipation for the upcoming fight, he puts. So what he does is he takes different panels out in order to build anticipation. For your pages, you can see panels are missing here, here, and here. And then as we move along, he takes more and more panels off until we get to the part where he's finally approaching the assassin and they start fighting. So I really like the way he did that to build anticipation. Overall, I think Moon Knight is a very good comic book, and for being my first, I would definitely recommend it to people who have not read it. Out of 10 stars, I would give it an 8.5. And the only reason I give it an 8.5 and not a 10 is because I'm not really a big comic book fan. However, this particular volume, Moon Knight, very, very good. Thank you guys for listening, and if you have any comments to add, please leave them down below. Have a good day.